Hey everyone! I hope you had a great day. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the channel out. The first story is called Silent Compliance. I work at an elite school in Brazil. And I mean elite to the level of being the place many actors, politicians and business people decided to put their children. It also has many resources like a makerspace, interactive boards, iPads and some of the best teachers in the city. I'm an assistant to one of the reference head teachers in lower school, so I saw this happen very closely. My school doesn't have a teacher's lounge, and usually the teachers would only interact during the 15 minutes break or during the lunch at the teacher's cafeteria. Since I started there, things were like this. And no one had an issue with it until last week when we received a message from HR that made everyone extremely angry. Only the specialist teachers and administrative employees are allowed to stay at the teacher's cafeteria during the morning break. Assistants and class teachers are only to have their snacks with their students and can grab their coffee in the break room from the janitorial staff. That means that out of nowhere we not only lose one more space where we can rest from the classroom madness, but also we have to basically occupy a space that isn't ours just to have coffee. Their justification was that since the teacher staff doubled in size since last year, we needed to stop occupying so much of the cafeteria. It was getting too busy and people were taking too long on their breaks because of that. As far as people knew, nobody made that complaint and it was made up by HR. People were visibly angry, but nobody talked about anything. And that's when the most amazing, silent, malicious compliance happened for the entire teaching staff. We just grabbed our coffee and sat on the corridor in front of the teacher's cafeteria. Now imagine, just imagine, about 40 teachers sitting on the floor. Everyone with coffee, bread and butter having their break like nothing happened. People would just stop by, see what was happening and joining. Eventually, we slowly would just start again, going inside the teacher's cafeteria and ignoring the HR's orders. This made them go back on what they said and allowing everyone to use the cafeteria normally. But the most impressive thing is that no one talked to each other. We just started doing the malicious compliance together, like we already knew how to deal with this. The next story is called She Wants the Real Prize. Having worked during college as a local movie theater, I came across all kinds of Karens. In this particular case, Karen went to the movies with her two kids around the ages of 4 or 5. As you know, movie theaters have high prices for snacks and drinks. It was Sunday morning and usually this is a busy time with a lot of small children and kids movies. It's obvious that I'm dealing with a total Karen straight from the start. Keeping on her sunglasses, chewing gum and being on her phone the entire time she's waiting in line. When it's her turn, I think to myself, your shift just started. Just be nice and maybe this will all go over smoothly. It didn't. Karen is annoyed by the prices of the tickets and is not happy with the assortment of healthy snacks. I'm still there, trying to keep up my best smile like I'm the Joker in a low-budget Batman movie, but I'm getting through her order. Now for the children. They were acting like dogs, running around the place. Where I'm from, we have a display where you can scoop your own candy in a bag for a fixed price per 100 grams. Being a movie theater, this is crazy expensive and a full bag can cost around 16 euros. Children said, "Mommy, can we scoop some candy?" So Karen asked me, "How much for the candy?" "It's €1.50 per 100 gram. So Karen said to her children, "Yes, hurry up with the candy." Her other child said, "Mom, I want some candy too." So Karen said, "Help your brother get his candy." At this point, she already spent way too much time in line. Normally, you scoop the candy before you make your purchase to prevent that the transaction takes an extremely long time and we can help other customers. Not for Miss Karen though. She just goes back to texting on her phone. I'm baffled, annoyed and just want to go help other customers because the movie is starting in 15 minutes and the lines for the registers are not moving at all. So me, the good Samaritan that I am, try to eyeball the bag of candy the kid has so that I can get a rough estimate of how much the candy will cost. To my enjoyment, I see the kid with an enormous bag of candy, almost the size of his head. So I estimate that it will be around 15 euros. The brother's bag isn't that full, but he is still scooping. I think to myself, realistically, the price will be higher. But I just want this to be over and I don't want to overprice them. So I say the total will be 44 euros. This makes Karen angry. What? Why is it so expensive? Miss, the candy weighs a lot and the price? But you didn't even weigh it. You are just trying to rip me off. Weigh it and give me the correct price. As she says this, she grabs the bags from the kids. Well, she was correct. I didn't weigh it, but I wasn't trying to rip her off. Heck, I was giving her a huge discount. So I smile to her and grab the bags of candy and put them on the scale. I can see the price and so can the customer. Sure, miss, as you can see, the price of the candy is 24 euros, so your total will be 53 euros. Of course, Karen gets angry and wants me to call the manager because I'm still ripping her off. The manager comes along, weighs the candy and confirms that the correct price is 53 euros. Because you have to pay the candy when you grab it because of hygiene rules, and there is a big sign, Karen eventually buys everything and walks away, angry with her kids. Luckily for me, the manager was a nice dude, so I didn't get into trouble for guessing the weight. At the end of the shift, I was glad I could ruin a movie experience for Karen. Thanks for watching so far. I hope you enjoy the video. Let me know what you think about the stories or the video in general in the comment section below. The third story is called Then I Remembered What My Job Is. Right after school, I and 3 other students with maximum grades got hired immediately in an airport company. Our job was to run a simulation program in order to train some specialized personnel. The job is quite easy. It's basically a set of exercises or routines to run over and over on the simulator. And it's really well paid for an 18 years old first job. The only problem is that the program for the simulation was incredibly clunky and slow. And the actual routines had to be prepared on other machines entirely. And the fun part is that apparently no one knows precisely how to create these exercises. We just had to run the simulator, so we just received these exercises, load them on the simulator and press start. But 60% of the time they didn't work at all, and that was infuriating and wasted a lot of time. So we, the young smart guys, jumped off the board and decided to help out, actually spending a lot of our free time helping to create these routines and trying to fix the common problems. Well, the percentage of functioning routines jumped up to almost 100% and the simulator ran smoothly for a month. My boss at the time was one of the best human beings I've ever known, and a surprise to no one, he was promoted. His substitute, on the other hand, was one of the worst human beings I've ever known, and surprise to no one, he messed up. I will just focus on the part that concerns me, but he messed up all around. One day, one of those routines wasn't working out at all, and we just couldn't figure out why. Our boss gets called because half a day has gone wasted already. Instead of trying to help, he jumps at us and starts yelling that we are incompetent in front of all the other people. He goes on a long rant, which doesn't solve anything, and the training day was called off. Now is when I remembered that my job is to run the simulator, not to create the routines. So malicious compliance kicks in, and well, after that day we just stopped to care. Now every day, if the new exercises come in and doesn't work, we just send it back and wait for a functioning one, which sometimes didn't arrive at all. This happened a lot, and I actually spent literally months at work being paid to do nothing, using the time studying for university at the workplace. And the best part is that my boss was fuming because the training schedule went down and he couldn't do anything at all. After some time, the boss's boss noticed that something was clearly wrong, went into his office and absolutely trashed the guy. Then the boss's boss came to us and asked if we wanted to do the extra job of creating routines for an extra payment. We said yes, since we already knew what to do. Our boss didn't say anything at all after that. So basically, I got a long paid vacation and went back to work with a higher salary. The last story is called The Loss Went Unnoticed. My coworker used to work at a plastic factory that was nearby. This place was one of the larger ones in the country. Chances are you have items of theirs in your home. This place was super disorganized. Theft ran rampant and management was largely ineffective. Anyone who worked there will tell you it was and still is chaos. Enter this guy, who we'll call Dave. Dave was a forklift driver and was totally unhinged. On one occasion, he stole the groundskeeper's old rusty snowblower. When it was reported missing, the company bought a brand new one to replace it. Our buddy Dave drives up one night and swaps it out for the old one he stole and keeps the brand new one. Stories like this were not uncommon. One day, the plant is super backed up on shipments. For some reason, the warehouse is full and no trucks have arrived to grab anything. The supervisor on the floor had a small office in the middle of the warehouse with a large plate glass window. Dave was running out of places to put pallets, so he started to stack them on the floor and racking in front of the supervisor's office. The supervisor was irate. "You can't put stuff here. I need a clear line of sight to watch the production lines from my window." Dave tried explaining that there was literally nowhere in the building to put these pallets. The only thing obstructed was the supervisor's view. There was still an ample walking path and there was no safety hazards. No exits or paths were blocked. It was then that the boss made a big mistake. "I don't care where you put them, just don't put them here." "Anywhere?" "Yes, anywhere. I don't care." Dave spent the next 6 hours taking pallets of finished product and dumping them in a 20-yard dumpster on the dock behind the production lines. The most bizarre part is that according to my coworker, the loss went unnoticed by management and literally nothing ever happened to either party. I find this totally ridiculous. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. And if you want to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day and stay safe. Bye bye.